and welcome to Songs from the Bird Tongue. And what I'm trying to do is give you a video diary to a certain extent of what's been going on in my life, so it'll help me understand what's been taking place, and if it can help you in any way as well, that would be fantastic. It's been fairly eventful the past few weeks, to be honest with you. I was doing the North on the second sight course with Jez Hughes, which was an incredibly powerful experience. And if you don't know about the medicine wheel, the North is the place of winter. It's the place of the giveaway animal. It's the place of the sacrifice. So the sort of sacrificial animal of these lands. One of them could be the deer. The deer's a very important animal for that. And it's also the place of the elder. It's the place of the elders and the ancestors. It's a place of wisdom. It's a place of winter. It's a place of preparedness, which you think would infer a lot of harshness and a lot of endurance, but at the same time it's the place of sophistication. It's a place of where you've learned how to endure on this earth and endure with the bounty of this earth, and endure with the abundance, and do clever things with it, and know how to look after yourself and look after your people, and build useful things and make lovely food and make lovely places and be sort of way more sort of integrated into the earth you live on. And that's the element of the North. It's the earth. It's about the earth. It's about being part of this world. And there was a huge sort of transmission of the Horn God, the return of the Horn God, and this idea of the person of the woods, the person of the woods, the person of the wild twin, if you like, as Martin Shaw talks about in Courting the Wild Twin, getting back in touch with your wild nature, to be part of that part of yourself that howls at the moon and is creaturely and drinks out of streams and takes wonder and awe at all the wonderful nature run about us. So all those things were wrapped up in it. It was a fantastic few days and it was a fantastic ceremony, and I felt really galvanised and really ready to enter into the world when I came back, which is just as well, because when I came back on the Sunday I found out my father had gone into hospital, and when I phoned up the next day to the hospital, he'd been sent to a ward where it was an acronym rather than a number, which should have told me the gravity of the situation. And I managed to speak to him very briefly. I don't have the best relationship in the world with my father. It's got to be said. I come from a very dysfunctional, very broken family, and a broken line of men, as I've talked about before. And my dad is part of that broken line. But one of the guarantees I made to him, it's a guarantee I made to myself quite some time ago, that if he did go, I'd be there. I would be there. I would try and be there as much as I possibly could. And I managed to tell him that, which was good. And then I got a phone call later that day from a nurse saying that his breathing had changed, and if I was nearby to come. Now, I'm not nearby. I'm 450 miles away. He's in Scotland. He's in central Scotland, near Glasgow, and I live on the south coast of England. So there's quite a distance between the two. So I decided I'm going to have to get a flight. So I had to get a flight together quite quickly. I messaged people who are close to my dad at the time. There's quite a fractious thing going on, unusual sort of distorted family dynamics that were going on. So I had to message people who I didn't have much confidence on, but there you go, to let them know, please let my dad know I'm coming. So by my estimations, I'd arrive in Scotland by his bedside about 5 o'clock the next day. That would be my estimation. So I'd send intelligence to that extent, and set about travelling up there. And when I went to Southampton Airport, I phoned up the hospital just to inquire after my dad's well-being, and I was told quite breezily, "Oh, he's okay. He seems to return to himself. He's responding to questions. He's speaking." So I was like, "Okay, right. That's okay. So let's make the best of this we can." So I'll probably go up and spend a couple of days on my dad's bedside. That would be good. I can maybe try and do something about the situation that exists between him and mum, because it got very difficult between my parents recently in August, to the point that my dad had to get moved out the family home. Because he was being threatened to my mum, simple as that, and I won't go into too many details about that. But yeah, that was the best idea and the best thing that could have happened. So I thought maybe I could do something about that situation. So I still continued up to Scotland, feeling like I was maybe in a bit of a fool's errand, but I carried on anyway. And I relaxed a little bit, so I got the flight up and managed to get from the airport to central Glasgow to the train station, my hometown, and walk from the train station to my mum's house, go there, very quickly get some insurance from mum's car and drive up to the hospital. And when I got there, I once more I was taken to another ward that was an acronym rather than a number, and I was taken to the room right at the end of it, which was a single room where the other rooms in the ward had other people in them, about 4 beds, where I was getting taken to a room with a single bed. It all felt, not ominous, but it had gravity. The situation I was looking at had gravity. And when I got in there, my dad was breathing in a very laboured way. His eyes were still open, but he was not conscious and responsive in a way I would know a human being to be. So all I could do was sit and hold his hand. When I held his hand, when I did move my hand away, there was some resistance. And I've been told anecdotally the last sense to go is hearing. So I spoke to him and told him I was there and told him I could be there for him at that time. And one of the nurses came in and told me the situation. The situation had far more gravity than I thought. I wasn't given some information by the people who were there about the grave nature of my dad's condition. He got very ill in the days before, and it looked like this was the end stage. They said that all they could do is make him comfortable. So he was made comfortable, and he lasted about another 3 hours basically, and he just stopped breathing. I was there when he stopped breathing. So as a result of that, I've lost 2 brothers, and also my other brother is lost in addiction right now. So I'm the last man standing, so I had to stay in Scotland and be with my mum. My mum was very isolated in their community. She could have received a lot more help. There's a really sort of quite nasty patriarchal narrative that exists in the community I come from in Scotland, and the fact that the woman nearly always gets the blame. She nearly always gets the blame. And the men can behave with impunity, and women bear the brunt of things, and that's what the narrative was in this situation. So I had to be there for my mum. I had to stay there for 2 weeks. I was in my hometown. I've got a very interesting relationship with my hometown. So, and I had to arrange the funeral, arrange everything like that. But the thing about it is there's a piece of land. Luckily my parents live near some fields. There's fields and woods I played in as a child. And I've got a relationship with there's a hill close by. It's maybe about 15-20 minutes walk away, and up there it's a special place, it's a sacred place. There's some stones there. I'm guessing it's some sort of Neolithic site where you can see the campsies behind it. You've got the Sleeping Beauty, the supine figure, and you can see Tintall Hill from there, which is like a mother hill, which is an extinct volcano, which is over towards South Lanarkshire. So it's a very special place, so I could visit that every day. And in visiting that, there's a tree there that seems to hold sentinel there. It looks like a female figure to a certain extent, but it's quite binding itself. And I realised it's a beech tree when I was there, and I never recognised the rhyme with the tree I've been visiting in Ashdown Forest with Second Sight to that. It's a huge, big, strong beech tree, and this one's quite a smaller beech tree. And the trees in the place I visit in my hometown, they're quite sick. They're not well. It's not a well place. I've got these openings, almost vaginal openings at the bottom, and there seems to be sort of decay in the wood at the bottom. A lot of the trees are like that there. It's quite a sick land from a few angles, but it could still provide some comfort there, so I walked there every day, so that was great. And I got through things best I could, and it was, my family came up, so my wife came up, my daughter came up early as well to see, and she was there with my mum, and my son and his girlfriend came, and my wife came, and my niece and nephew came as well, and we got through the funeral with best we could, with as much dignity as we possibly could. trying to protect my mum from certain forces that could have upset her on that day. And there were potentially a few upsetting forces that could take place, but luckily they didn't, and we managed it all right. We managed it okay. And I had to come home and leave my mum. And I came home, and I think a few days after it was Samhain. And on Samhain, I sat up here and lit some candles and prayed to the ancestors, and did quite a bit of drumming. And again, I'm really starting to understand the drum after the ceremony of the North. Really starting to understand the power and the importance of the drum in sort of invoking trance and invoking and softening these edges of the world so you can move in between them. And that was really powerful. And the next morning I walked to Hengistbury Head, and Hengistbury Head is my power place. And the more I go on with it, the more I realise that this is the place to be. And it was such a beautiful walk. It's to walk along that shoreline and to look across to the Isle of Wight and look across to the Isle of Purbeck and to feel at home. I really felt at home. It was a really quite beautiful experience. And just that feeling for me, as somebody who's felt dislocated and disconnected all their life, that was a wonderful feeling. And I went and sat in my power place and looked at the sea and just spoke the names of my immediate ancestors, ending with my dad, over the sea, and said a little ritual for them. And that felt exactly the right thing to do. And by going on with that and doing those things, I feel I've achieved some sort of peace in the situation. But it still feels there's a lot of work to do there. And to carry on with this, I need to find means of carrying on with it. Now, luckily enough, I've been asked to do some storytelling as part of a Men's Month in November run by Drew Hart. So it's an online course, I suppose, and I'm going to record a story at the end of this week, and I'm going to broadcast that with Drew, the little fireside chat, and I'll maybe record both those things and put them up on the YouTube channel for you to look at. But that's just a little state of play. That's where I'm at right now. I think that's about as much depth as I want to go in for right now, so I shall sign off there. Thank you very much. Take care.